Hey guys, how's it going? Good. Okay, so that was On a Plane by Nirvana. Now this song is from the massive album Nevermind, Nirvana's breakthrough. Every song on this album sounds massive, to be honest, and I think that has a lot to do with the way Butch Vig produced it, you know, the way he layered it and the drums and everything. It just sounds massive and mega. Kurt Cobain later expressed dissatisfaction with the way it had been produced. He said it sounded candy ass. But I think because he had punk rock roots, he kind of felt like he had to say something like that. I believe at the time he was more than happy with it, so I don't know. But, you know, whatever, never mind. It's a great album. Now, I know what you're thinking. I did previously do a cover of this song already, and I don't mean the unplugged version I did a couple of weeks ago. It was about 2 years ago. I did a cover of the Nevermind version, and I watched it a little while ago, and I wasn't really that happy with it, to be honest. So, because I like the song so much, I wanted to kind of do it justice and, you know, get it done properly. And I know that might sound like a cop-out, but, you know, whatever. I enjoyed playing it, so, yeah.
Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Good night.
The tuning for this song is drop D, which is pretty simple to do, to be honest. All you have to do is have your guitar tuned to standard tuning, and then when it comes to the low E, just tune that down a whole step. And when you do that, all you have to do is hold your finger over the bottom 3 strings to get a power chord. Yeah, super simple to do, and because the low E string is slightly looser than it would be in, you know, standard tuning, it gives it like a more kind of like deeper, bassier kind of sound to it. It's not, you know, massively noticeable, but, you know, when you turn your amp up and play it loud, you definitely feel it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, night and day kind of thing, but yeah, it just sounds like, it sounds a lot more ballsy, you know. The intro to this song is kind of interesting, I guess, because what Kurt did was, the shape he was using was, he would have his index finger on this fret here, his middle finger on that fret there, and then the third finger on that fret there, which is kind of like a power chord, but you move the middle string down a semitone. So yeah, it's like that kind of shape, and Kurt used that quite a lot for like improvised solos and stuff like that, especially live. I mean, not all the time, but from watching live performances and stuff, I've definitely noticed him doing that a fair bit. So yeah, that's a random bit of information there, I guess. I taught myself how to play this song a very long time ago now. We're talking early 2000s, so yes, nearly 2 decades ago. Oh god, I feel old. Yeah, I remember a mate of mine had it on a VHS tape, the Nirvana Live at the Paramount Theatre performance. He had hooked his VCR up to his Skybox and recorded that performance off of MTV2, you know, the whole concert kind of thing. And yeah, I remember I borrowed the VHS off of him and then learnt how to play on the plane from you know, just watching the performance, which is a good way to learn how to play songs, because at that time I hadn't really been playing the guitar very long, so it was like I kind of felt like I was cheating, but at the same time it was just a quicker way of learning it, I suppose. Plus online tabs back then weren't overly reliable either, so yeah, it was a fast track for me and it worked, even though I was probably playing like a kind of rudimentary version, you know, compared with my skills at the time. Yeah, I kind of just refined it over the next couple of years, I guess, and then I didn't really play guitar or listen to Nirvana, at least, for several years after that, until about 2009. That was when I started listening to Nirvana again and playing the guitar more. And yeah, I still remembered it, so that was handy. Also, live at the Paramount is a great performance as well. The guitar sound is absolutely epic. And yeah, I don't know, I just wish I'd been there, you know, even though in 91 I would have been probably like 3 or 4, but still. Yeah, I was born in the wrong decade, I think. I should have been born like sort of 15, 16 years before that. But whatever, great performance, and yeah, it's just cool, man. Because I was a child back in the 90s, I do remember hearing Nirvana on the radio quite a lot, and I do have a very vivid memory of being in the back of my mate's mum's car after school, and on the radio was Ace of Base, and then sometime after that, Smells Like Teen Spirit came on. Now obviously, back in those days I was more into stuff like this than music, but even back then, like, I remember hearing anything with guitar sounded awesome to me, and yeah, not much has really changed since then, to be honest. I feel like in my 20s I grew up, and then like after 25 I kind of went downhill again, and now I'm like back in my adolescence, which is probably kind of sad in a way, but hey ho, it is what it is. Yeah, just anything with a guitar back then sounded cool, you know, Guns N' Roses, and then like even Oasis when that stuff came out, like in the mid-90s, like, yeah, mid-90s, I remember liking that as well. But yeah, Nirvana had like a kind of profound impact on me because it was just so loud. Obviously, what with the current world situation at the moment, as it is, there has not been any Formula 1 this year so far, so I've been playing this game quite a bit, and I've also been watching old races like from the 90s when I was a kid, and this was by far my favourite car from that time period, and it was driven by my favourite driver.
Hill, Schumacher, Coulthard, and off goes Damon Hill out of the race, and Michael Schumacher takes the lead. Is he all right? Yes, he is.
I don't know why, I've just always rooted for the underdog. Now, I do realise me talking about myself isn't really the main focus of these videos, and a lot of people aren't clicking on it to sort of hear me talk about myself, and believe me, I realise I'm not the most interesting person in the world. These videos are mainly about teaching people how to play the songs that I personally enjoy playing, and just helping other guitarists kind of get to grips with learning how to play simple punk rock / grunge songs, I guess. But yeah, doing this, just talking to the camera every week is kind of like cathartic for me in a way, especially with the world the way it is at the moment, not being able to go out and, you know, speak to people and stuff like that. And, you know, for the people that do enjoy this part of the video, you know, me talking away after the cover, I do appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for 10 minutes every week. It is really cool. Like I said before, seeing the same faces, like commenting every week, it really does mean a lot to me. And of course, you guys are always welcome to sort of like, you know, make requests and stuff like that if you want. I've been getting quite a few requests for like songs off of Nirvana's Bleach album, which I would love to do, and I will get around to eventually, but because the songs are kind of hectic and crazy and unorthodox in, like, you know, the way Kurt was playing, they're a bit of a pain, but I will get around to them eventually, I promise you that, because, you know, just because it's difficult doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, I suppose. You should challenge yourself and do things that are difficult, because that's the only way you get better, I guess. And yeah, I've been doing super simple songs recently, so I would like to kind of push myself a little bit. And you would have thought, what with all this business having to stay in and all that, that I would be focusing more on sort of more complicated songs, not complicated, but more challenging songs. But yeah, that's not been the case at all. I've been kind of lazy and kind of like just doing simple stuff. But these are the songs that I enjoy playing the most at the moment, and yeah, it's just what I've been sort of like enjoying. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you have, please feel free to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, of course. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Peace. Also, stay safe, wash your hands and all that. You know, happy birthday to you. Or whatever Boris keeps telling us to do nowadays. Yeah, stay safe, and yeah, take it easy. Bye. Now this song is in drop D, which is pretty simple to explain, I guess. What you do is just... Now this song is played... Now the tuning... Now I do... Right, so... Now I do realise that most of what I'm saying is probably not very interesting to most of the people that...